because he was banged up, and we really don't know how severe that the pain was when he's trying to throw. We saw Case Keenum. Is that something that starts to factor into this? Because there looks like there's a lot of pieces to win games around it, and right now, Baker Mayfield is I think kind of hindering that more than helping that. And you can't have that at the quarterback position.
You're right, but I think the Browns can continue to ride with Baker Mayfield. I think they should continue to ride with Baker Mayfield just because that's part of what this season is about, is figuring out exactly who he is. And I think you've got to ride with him until he either gets it figured out or until the wheels come off, to be honest. And the good news is you've got a stretch of games here before you have to go to Tennessee in December that Baker should be able to play well enough. And you should be able to do what you want to do offensively, dictate what you want to do offensively. And that's when Baker's had his most success, when the Browns can kind of be who they want to be, limit the number of passes he throws, let him get out of the pocket, let him work off of play action. I think we're going to see a better Baker Mayfield over the next 5 weeks.
And the one thing he cannot do, and you saw the comparison between he and Case Keenum under Kevin Stefanski, can't turn the ball over. You can't have turnovers. And that's one thing Keenum was able to do, is protect the football under Kevin Stefanski. Baker has to do a better job of that.
That's really the one caveat in all of this. If he's turning the football over and those turnovers are costing you games, or those turnovers are starting to lead to guys just losing faith in him, then that's when you start to contemplate that change. But if he's able to get the turnovers under control and continue to sort of manage the game like he was during that 4-game win streak, I think you can continue to ride with Baker for as long as possible.
And when we say manage the game, at this point in his career, that's not a negative. I mean, it's what he needs to do in this system so that he can develop to the quarterback that can take over and win games for you. But you can't go from where he is now to taking over football games. That's just unrealistic.
Right. It's all a process. And the other piece of it too is, if Baker's ceiling isn't top 5 or top 10 quarterback, but if his ceiling is he can run your offense, he can sit in the cockpit and make sure that he's not making mistakes, distribute the football, you can live with that. Now, you might have one eye on some other quarterbacks. You might, sort of like what Kansas City did with Alex Smith when they rode with him for a long time. They won a lot with him. They made the playoffs a lot, and finally they decided they needed to go a different direction, and they found the guy they wanted. You can develop Baker Mayfield, and I think you would hope at minimum you can develop Baker Mayfield into sort of what Kansas City had in Alex Smith. Obviously, you want him to be more than that. But if ultimately even that ends up being his ceiling, you can live with that for a long time.